Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Insights. Today, we will learn about one of the most powerful leaders in the world, Xi Jinping, the President of China. His life story is full of pain, hard work, and success. When he was young, his family suffered during the Cultural Revolution led by Mao Zedong. His family lost everything in just one night. He was forced to live in the countryside in very poor conditions. But Xi Jinping did not give up. He studied hard and slowly rose to the top of Chinese politics. Today, he leads a country of more than 1.4 billion people. This story is not only about politics, it is also the story of a boy who overcame hardship to rise to the top of power. Now, let's begin. Part 1. Early Life and Family Background. Xi Jinping was born in 1953 in Beijing, the capital of China. His father, Xi Jinping, was an important man in the Chinese Communist Party. His mother, Qi Xin, also worked for the party. Xi's family was respected and powerful in the early years of the People's Republic of China. However, his childhood was not always happy. When Xi was about 10 years old, the Cultural Revolution began. It was a time of great change and fear in China. Mao Zedong, the leader of the country, started the movement to remove people he thought were enemies of the party. Many people were punished, and their families lost their homes, jobs, and safety. Xi's father became one of the victims of this time. He was accused of being against Mao and was sent to prison. The family lost everything. For a while, Xi's mother was forced to work hard labor jobs. His older sister could not handle the pressure and died. These years were very painful for the young Xi Jinping. When Xi was a teenager, he was sent to the countryside in Shanxi province. He lived in a small village called Liangjiahe. The village was poor and had no running water or electricity. Xi lived in a simple cave house, like the local people. Every day he worked on farms, carried water, and took care of animals. Life was very hard, but he learned how to survive and how to understand the lives of ordinary Chinese people. Later, Xi said that his time in the countryside changed him deeply. It taught him to be patient, to work hard, and to stay close to the people. These lessons helped him a lot in his later political life. Even though his family had fallen from power, Xi never gave up hope. He read many books and dreamed of helping his country. Slowly, he began to rebuild his connection with the Communist Party. He wanted to show that he was loyal and that he could serve the people. Xi's early life was full of suffering, but it also made him strong. He learned from pain, from work, and from failure. These experiences became the base of his future success. They helped him grow into the leader who would one day guide China with confidence and strength. Part 2. Life during the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution began in 1966, when Xi Jinping was still a young boy. It lasted for 10 years, until 1976. This period changed the lives of millions of Chinese people. It also changed Xi's life in a deep and painful way. The movement was started by Mao Zedong, the leader of China at that time. He wanted to make the Communist Party stronger by removing people he thought were not loyal. Students and young people joined groups called the Red Guards. They attacked teachers, officials, and even their own parents if they were accused of being against the party. Xi's father, Xi Jinping, was one of the people punished during this time. He was sent to prison, and the family was treated as enemies. Xi Jinping was seen as a counter-revolutionary because he supported more reform and freedom. Sometimes he disagreed with Mao's strict rules. Xi's mother had to work hard in factories, and his school life stopped. Many people around him were afraid to talk to his family. Xi was often alone and confused. When Xi was 15 years old, he was sent to live in a small rural village called Liangjiahe in Shanxi province. The government sent millions of young people from cities to the countryside. The goal was to make them learn from farmers and experience a simple life. Life in the countryside was very hard. She lived in a small cave home made from yellow earth. There was no electricity, no bathroom, and no heating in winter. He slept on a simple bed made of straw. Each day he woke up early to carry water, build walls, and plant crops. The work was heavy, and food was never enough. He often had to eat simple cornbread or potatoes for every meal. At first, she found it very difficult. He came from a big city and had never worked like that before. He was tired, dirty, and sometimes sick. Some young people ran away from the village, but she decided to stay. He wanted to prove that he was strong. Over time, the local farmers started to respect him. They saw that he worked hard and did not complain. During those years, she also read many books. He borrowed books from others and read at night by the light of a small oil lamp. He liked books about history and heroes. Reading helped him forget his sadness and gave him new ideas about life. Xi Jinping once admitted in an interview that he loved books very much. Wherever he went, he always had a book in his hand. Later, Xi said that living in the countryside taught him many things. He learned the meaning of hard work, patience, and courage. He saw how difficult life was for poor people and wanted to help them. The Cultural Revolution gave him pain, but it also gave him strength. This period became one of the most important times in his life. It turned a young boy from a broken family into a man who could face any challenge. The lessons he learned in Liangjiahe became the roots of his future leadership and success. Part 3. Education and Return to Politics. After many years in the countryside, Xi Jinping wanted to continue his education. In 1975, When the Cultural Revolution was ending, he got the chance to study at Tsinghua University in Beijing. It was one of the best universities in China. Getting into this school was not easy, but she worked hard and passed the tests. At Tsinghua, she studied chemical engineering. However, he was also very interested in politics. He often read books about leaders, history, and philosophy. He wanted to understand how a country works and how people can live better lives. Even though his family had suffered, Xi still believed in the Communist Party. He wanted to serve his country and help rebuild it after many years of chaos. Life at the university was very different from his time in the countryside. He could study, eat well, and live in a student dormitory, but he never forgot the hard life he had in Liangjiahe. His classmates said that he was quiet, serious, and disciplined. He did not talk much, but he was friendly and helpful to others. Xi Jinping once had to stay in the hospital for almost a week because of poor health. The reason was that he studied very hard and sometimes stayed up all night. Later, he realized that this was not good for him. After that, he paid more attention to his health and followed a better daily routine. Many people respected him because he stayed humble even after his life improved. While studying, Xi started to rebuild his relationship with the Communist Party. At that time, his father was released from prison and allowed to work again. This helped Xi's family return to political life. In 1979, after finishing his studies, Xi worked as an assistant in the State Council, where he learned about government work. It was his first step into real politics. During this time, China was beginning to open to the world. New reforms were starting under leader Deng Xiaoping. Xi saw this as a chance for change. He watched how the government tried to make people's lives better through new ideas and hard work. He learned that leadership was not only about power, but also about responsibility. These years of study and early work gave Xi a strong foundation for his future. He understood how the system worked and how people in power made decisions. He also learned to be careful, patient, and loyal, qualities that helped him move up step by step. Xi's education and first jobs were not just about learning skills. They were about rebuilding trust, finding purpose, and preparing for the long road ahead. From a student who once lived in a cave, he was now ready to begin his journey in politics, one that would lead him to the very top of China's leadership. Part 4. Rise through local leadership. After finishing his studies, Xi Jinping wanted to gain real experience in politics. He knew that to become a strong leader, he had to start from the bottom. In 1982, he began working as a local official in Hebei province. His job was to help local people and solve small problems. It was not a high position, but it was an important first step. Xi worked very hard and often visited villages to talk to farmers. He listened to their problems and tried to find practical solutions. People liked him because he was polite, patient, and serious about his work. He did not act like a rich or powerful man. Instead, he showed a simple lifestyle and worked together with ordinary people. Later, Xi was sent to Fujian province in the southeast of China. He spent many years there and helped the local government improve the economy. Fujian was close to Taiwan and had a lot of trade with other countries. Xi focused on building clean and efficient local government. He encouraged fair business and tried to reduce corruption. In Fujian, Xi became known for being honest and careful with public money. He lived a simple life and avoided luxury. Many local people respected him for that. They said he was calm but firm. He believed that a leader should serve the people, not control them with fear. After that, Xi moved to Zhejiang province, one of the richest areas in China. There, he continued to focus on good management and clean government. He supported new businesses and technology development. He wanted to make Zhejiang a model for other provinces. His leadership helped local people earn more money and live better lives. In 2007, Xi was promoted again. He became the top leader of Shanghai, one of China's biggest and most modern cities. Even though he worked there for only a short time, his clean image and hard-working style caught the attention of national leaders. People in Beijing began to see him as a man who could take bigger responsibilities. Throughout these years, Xi's rise in politics was slow but steady. He never moved too fast or made loud promises. Instead, he built trust by doing real work and showing results. His experience in different provinces gave him a deep understanding of China, from poor villages to rich cities. By the late 2000s, Xi had become one of the most respected local leaders in the country. He was known as a man of discipline, loyalty, and action. These qualities would soon lead him to the highest position in China, the leadership of the whole nation. Part 5. Becoming China's top leader. By the late 2000s, Xi Jinping was already a well-known figure in Chinese politics. He had worked in many provinces and proved that he was honest, calm, and loyal to the Communist Party. Because of this, many leaders in Beijing trusted him. In 2008, Xi became the Vice President of China. It was a big step in his long political journey. As Vice President, Xi represented China in many international events. He met leaders from other countries and showed a friendly and confident image of China. At the same time, he continued to focus on discipline inside the party. He wanted government officials to be clean and responsible. Many people began to see him as a man who could lead the country in the future. In 2012, Xi Jinping was chosen as the General Secretary of the Communist Party. This position made him the most powerful person in China. 1 year later, in 2013, he officially became the President of China. His rise to the top was not fast, but it was very steady. He had gained support from both the people and the party. After becoming president, Xi started many new policies. One of the most famous was his anti-corruption campaign. He said that both tigers and flies must be caught, meaning that both high officials and low-level workers must be punished if they were corrupt. Many people were arrested or removed from their positions. Many big corruption cases worth billions of dollars have been exposed. Some officials of the Chinese Communist Party were even sentenced to death. This campaign made Xi very popular among ordinary citizens who were tired of corruption. Xi also spoke about his dream for the nation, the Chinese dream. He said that China should become strong, rich, and respected again after many years of struggle. His idea was to build a modern country where people could live better lives. He promoted hard work, unity, and pride in Chinese culture. Under Xi's leadership, China's economy continued to grow, and its power in the world became stronger. China built new technology, high-speed trains, and modern cities. It also started big international projects, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, to connect China with countries across Asia, Africa, and Europe. However, Xi's leadership also brought more control. The government began to watch the internet and media more closely. Some people said that freedom of speech became smaller, but many Chinese citizens still supported Xi, believing that his strong rule kept the country stable and safe. Xi also met with world leaders like Barack Obama, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump. These meetings showed that China was becoming a central player in world politics. Xi wanted China to be seen not just as a large country, but as a global leader. By his second term, Xi was no longer just a national leader. He was a symbol of China's new power. In 2018, China changed its constitution to remove the two-term limit for presidents. This meant that Xi could stay in power longer than past leaders. Through hard work, discipline, and a strong belief in his vision, Xi Jinping rose to the highest point in Chinese politics. From a boy who once lived in a cave during hard times, he became the face of a new and powerful China. Part 6. Xi Jinping's Vision and Legacy. Xi Jinping often talks about his dream for China's future. He calls it the Chinese dream. This dream is about building a strong, rich, and modern country where everyone can live a better life. Xi wants China to be proud, united, and respected around the world. His vision focuses on three main ideas: national strength, social harmony, and a clean government. He believes that the country must stay stable to grow. To do this, he continues to fight corruption and push for discipline inside the Communist Party. He wants all party members to remember their duty to serve the people. Xi also believes in technology and innovation. He encourages young people to study science and create new ideas. Under his leadership, China has made progress in space exploration, artificial intelligence, and high-speed trains. Xi often says that knowledge and hard work are the keys to national success. At the same time, Xi gives great importance to Chinese culture and traditions. He often says that the country should not forget its roots. Festivals, history, and family values are part of his message. He wants people to feel proud of being Chinese and to believe in their own way of life. However, Xi's rule has also brought more control over the internet and media. The government checks what people post online and limits some information from foreign countries. Some people outside China criticize this as a lack of freedom. But inside the country, many people support Xi. They believe that his strict leadership keeps China safe and united. Xi's influence can be seen in almost every part of Chinese life, in schools, workplaces, and even on television. His image and speeches appear everywhere. Many citizens see him as a strong father figure who guides the nation through change. As China faces new challenges, like an aging population, economic slowdown, and global competition, Xi continues to play a central role. He believes that the party's leadership is the key to solving these problems. Xi's legacy will likely be remembered for his strong rule, his anti-corruption drive, and his dream of national revival. However, Xi Jinping's foreign policies have caused concern in many countries in the region. China claims large areas in the South China Sea. It built islands and military bases there, and neighboring countries said this was illegal. China also has strict trade rules. Some countries said these rules are unfair and favor China too much. There have been border disputes too. China had conflicts with India and other neighbors over land and mountains. China also increased military activities near Taiwan. Many countries were worried that these actions could create tension. In addition, some smaller countries said China used loans and development projects to get more influence over them. These countries criticized China for being too strong and controlling. Overall, many of Xi Jinping's foreign policies are seen as aggressive and unfair by other nations. Whether people agree with him or not, his impact on China's modern history is clear. From a young man who once worked in the fields to the leader of the world's most populous country, Xi Jinping's journey shows the power of patience, discipline, and faith in one's mission. His story continues to shape China's future and the world's view of it.